In grade 7, students need to be able to add integers, but before that, there are a few things that we practice. First, students need to be able to correctly place integers on a number line, and also realize that if we look at the number line from left to right, the numbers are always getting larger. What this means is that a number such as -8 is larger than -10. We need to also realize that all positive numbers are larger than any negative numbers, and also be flexible enough to understand that there are different ways of representing a positive number. Lastly, students need to understand that to get a sum of 0, all we need to do is add the opposite integer. So the opposite integer of -10 on my number line would be +10, because it is the same distance away from 0. The opposite integer of +7 would be -7, and the opposite integer of +4 would be -4. Once students have practiced those skills, we can start exploring some fun patterns that'll show us what happens when we add negative numbers. So I always encourage students to start with questions that they know. So 10 and 2 is 12, 10 and 1 is 11, 10 and 0 is 10. So at this point, we can start looking at some emerging patterns. So our sums, for example, are always decreasing by 1 in this particular pattern. This, in turn, explains why our missing addends are also decreasing by 1 so far. So if we take what we've practiced and learned in the previous part of the video, we can complete the pattern and show that 10 plus -1 must be equal to 9, since -1 is 1 less than 0. 10 plus -2 must be equal to 8, since -2 is less than 1. And finally, 10 plus -3 will give us 7. So the end goal is for students to be able to use what they know about numbers that add up to 0 and start comparing in order to build their own patterns. So I need to ask myself, is -9 greater than or less than 10? And if I visualize my number line from the start of the video, I'll see that -9, in fact, is 1 more than -10. This, like our pattern on the left, means that our sum must also be 1 more than 0. And in this case, 0 plus 1 gives me an answer of +1. So the sum of +10 and -9 is +1. I've uploaded some practice questions on my website. Have fun doing math.